you want a puzzle game in the 3DO, your options are very limited. And when I heard certain reviews say that Tripped was a Puyo Puyo clone, I had to pick it up. As you know, Puyo Puyo is the best puzzle game of all time. Shut up, Tetris fans, your reign is over. Do people even know what Puyo Puyo is? The graphics are very good. It's very colorful and all the backgrounds are sprawling with detail. It's definitely a step up above Puyo Puyo. Netflix! This guy's animations could be smoother. Spaceman Sam wasn't cropped properly. The slowdown is very distracting. The 4 out of 5 is very 4 out of 5. There's no story in this game. Or any cutscenes. But there are characters like Terry the lawyer and Joe the religious man, so it's a big missed opportunity. I would love to see some more of that fantastic Puyo Puyo dialogue. However, I love the very Japanese theme. Not the bad kind of Japanese, the good kind of Japanese. It's all so weird and gory, and some people might say trippy. The setting definitely gives it an extra star in my book. 2 out of 5. The sound is okay. The music's above average, it just doesn't go well with the creepy setting I mentioned earlier. However, only one song plays throughout the whole game, no matter what mode you're on. You can play different songs, but it has to be selected in the options menu, which is stupid! Shouldn't you have one song for the practice mode, one song for the arcade mode, and one song for the versus mode? Or maybe just shuffle through the 3 songs like Crazy Taxi. Anything that's not this is better. And the sound effects are fine, they get the job done. 3 out of 5. The game has 3 modes. 1 player, which is more of a practice mode. 1 player versus CPU, which is pretty much the main game due to having 8 challengeable opponents. And then there's a minigame accessed through the options menu called Tripped Dance. More on that later. After beating an opponent, the game doesn't move on, and instead gives you the choice of going back to the title screen or playing him again. Oh yeah, and I forgot, you can select any level you want from the get-go. That makes this game barely even structured like a video game. It feels more like a demo. And of course, with the system built around this, it means when you beat the final boss, there's no ending or reward. 2 out of 5, and I'm being generous just because there's multiple modes. As I said before, Tripped is a puzzle game, but it definitely isn't a clone of Puyo Puyo. First of all, the puzzle pieces aren't in 2s, they're in 3s. And not 3s like in columns, 3s in its own stupid quirky way. A way that makes it way harder to make combos. But another difference to Puyo Puyo is that you don't even have to make combos. To bring damage to your opponent, you need to make an alien and then kill it, which makes this already more complex formula even more complex. Also, you can't turn it when it's next to a wall, and that's dumb. All this is acceptable in the 1-player mode, but in 2-player mode, you have someone that's putting more pieces on your side. It's all way too much to handle, and I could only just barely beat level 1. As I said, there's a practice mode, and I've noticed that it's way more fun to play. There's way less pressure. Plus, simply doing combos in that mode give you points. That's something they should have done in the main game. In the main game, only killing aliens brings damage to the other person's side, which is not easy to do at all. It takes a bunch of precise preparing, and by the time you finally kill an alien, your opponent would have already killed 3! That, along with the more complex puzzle shapes, makes this a very frustrating experience. You can have complex puzzle shapes. You can have a computer. You can even have that stupid alien gimmick. But not all 3. That is just way too much to handle. As I said, 1-player mode is moderately fun, but similar to columns, it doesn't end, so there's no motivation to play it. But yet again, there's no motivation to play the normal game either. Oh yeah, there's also Tripped Dance. This is just a stupid minigame where you press a button and it makes a sound and they expect you to make music out of it. There's really no point of its existence. 3 out of 5.
Eddie, let me go back to my home. Without me, everything's all wrong. Eddie, let me go back to my home. Let me put things back where they belong. Eddie, let me go back to my home. Without me, everything's all wrong. Eddie, let me go back to my home.